Welcome back to the reptile room, you guys. I'm going to go through the enclosures, doing some cleaning out, as we do most days. Anyone that keeps colubrid snakes, probably as opposed to pythons and boas, we all know, high metabolism, always pooing. So just last night, have a look. False water cobras, pretty minging. Yeah, not as bad as bull snakes, but they're pretty high metabolism, smelly poos. And the same with the young stuff. If you've been watching the channel, my rack system is now here instead of being off site. It's where I brumate a lot of the reptiles, the colubrids that are from temperate, sort of subtropical regions. And this year, we're going to keep a lot of the smaller stuff in there. So big changes in the reptile room. Have a look at this. I'll show you some stuff as I go about my business of the day. So in here, looks quite nice. We're going to do a lot of cutouts in a bit. Had to charge the drill. A lot of cutouts on those cork tubes. In here, we've got a really nice young Asian water monitor coming. Now, it's one of the biggest ones. It's a Sumatran, so they can get incredibly big, the males. But if you've been watching the channel recently, you might think, hang on, Dave, you had a stunning baby Celebensis Asian water monitor in there. Where's that gone? You might think, I'm sure I've watched Dave's videos before, and only last week, he put his Baron's racers in this big sort of naturalistic enclosure. I'm sure there was a big mangrove snake in there. Yeah, both of those things are true. We've had a massive disaster, a home disaster, that's impacted a little bit on the reptile room. So that's for another video when it's fully rectified, I think. But yeah, sort of a disaster video coming to the channel soon. So in here, it's all getting prepped. But Jemima, she's been ousted from her vivarium that was over where the racking was. She's an ancient, dilapidated bearded dragon. Still lovely, but really old, and like she's like a 90-year-old person in everything about her. She's in there just chilling out for now. She's not going to be in there much longer. And she's going to probably go to work as a bit of a work pet, I think, bless her. So lots to do. I'll tell you what's going on as we go around. But for now, yeah. In here, we don't have a sink, so I don't know how you run your reptile room. I have to bring water in. And, oh, you're going to get dizzy. Take water and rubbish out for sure. So I'll crack on and I'll show you stuff as we go through. Here's a nice apricot Pueblo milk snake that I bred a couple of years ago. And I'm keeping that one back, and I've got a lovely female we're keeping back too. But my actual pair, they're on the website. Check out the website if you're in the UK. Cracking breeding pair, produce some beautiful babies. They're available now because I'm really reducing this year what snakes I breed. So the stuff I've already bred, a lot of it's already on the website, and I'm going to work with, you know, stuff that's been growing on over the last 3 or 4 years and reduce what I breed, but try and breed some new stuff. So certainly if you want a bargain that'll pay for itself many times over in the first season, check out the website. Russian rat snakes, I think they've come of age this year. That's the male. He's quite big. I'll show you the female in a second, but I'd really love to breed those this year. If not, next year. Shamefully, he's in blue. Here's the female. She hasn't got the reduced yellow. She's looking pretty bog standard and beautiful. Russian rat snakes, guys. Yeah, definitely get yourself a Russian rat snake. Big, very friendly, beautiful colubrids. But if you want to push the boat out, black-tailed crebos, oh yeah, they are amazing. And again, something really just amazing colubrids. 2023 bull snakes. There's a pair in here. I might put them on the website, and if they go, they go, and if they don't, we'll breed them in 3 or 4 years time. But the dad's 7 foot long, just huge, huffy puffy, but lovely, gentle giants. Bull snakes, great to have around. This is a normal female Pueblan. She's actually bred several times in her life. She's retired from breeding now, and she's still an animal educator to schools, as she has been since she was not far off a hatchling. She's coming up for about 15 years old, so she's here for nostalgia reasons, and she still gets out as a day out and visits children at schools some of the time. But even the normal Pueblan without the orange apricot banding, what a stunning, easy to keep, brilliant snake species. Something I really like are these eastern black king snakes. Don't seem to see many around. They're not the pure jet black of the Mexican black, but they get blacker and blacker with age. If you watch NFK herping, a great North American herping channel on YouTube. Something that features this sort of thing relatively commonly. Lovely iridescence, and oh, another couple of years before these guys are old enough to breed. But it's been great watching them grow on from little hatchlings. Although for sure this one, the other half of the pair, I don't know which is which without checking quickly, but this one's certainly stacking on some size now. So yeah, with a good year this year, good growing year, maybe next year when they'll be about 4 years old, so not growing excessively fast, we'll produce some Eastern Black Kings. Beautiful. In here is set up for the baby mangrove snake, and he's doing remarkably well. But typically a nocturnal snake when it's a baby, not something you see much of. If you set the enclosure up correctly, not going to be something you see much of until after dark. But always, those animals add a new dimension to your reptile room when you come and take a peek after lights out. Crested geckos, just for that didn't end well. Crested geckos, always a great big hit. These guys are key on my school visit and educational program because people absolutely can't fly. It's a lot easier one-handed, or rather, it's a lot easier two-handed when I'm working with these animals properly. Now, the female's several years old. This little boy, little tailless boy, he came to me like that. It was a pet that went wrong, I guess. People just don't realise how long these animals live. So the boy's 15, maybe 16 years old now. And the girl above there, she's still, crikey, I don't know, probably half that. So, you know, these cute little nocturnal pets, they are easy to keep. But do people sort of think they're going to live for 20, 30 years or whatever? No. Kids' pets, yeah, your rat's your best pet. A rat is a proper, loving, affectionate pet. Landed on my shoe, caught it. But it dies in a couple of years. That's more than long enough for a kid. In fact, for a little kid, a stick insect, something with an annual life cycle is better. No one wants to look after these for the rest of their lives. Talking of lovely colubrids I breed, huge Vietnamese blue beauty snakes. There's a blue and a green face here. But I've got two breeding pairs. And again, cutting down on what I breed, there's a pair on the website, a breeding pair grown on huge Vietnamese blue beauties. The female's smaller on that pair, but pure blue. This female's actually darkened down. It's a sister with age, but a huge male, probably 10 feet long. And a beautiful blue female. If you're in the UK and you want a huge, beautiful pair of Vietnamese blue beauties that are definitely 100% productive breeding pair, check out the website. I love them. And they make just the most lovely animals to keep and fantastic display animals. That one's called Malcolm. This girl's just hopefully done a prelay shed. Her neck wounds since the shed are pretty healed now. First time breeding, she looks pretty gravid. We'll see. And the second round of breeding, the male basically just tried to eat her. So she's recovered, she's looking good. She looks totally gravid, she's off her food. The older yellowtail Crebo, to be honest, she does a prelay shed and nothing happens. And then weeks later in the spring, she sloughs again, and that is a prelay shed. So let's see, only time will tell. But I'd love to produce another round of baby yellowtail Crebos because it's been a couple of years. Everyone should be able to have the opportunity in the UK to work with these amazing animals, and they're just few and far between still. So we're just going to install a lay box. There's coir in there. Works for all my colubrids. Damp, not wet, but very damp coir mix. A third to half full in the lay box. We're going to pop that in there for her. they have a massive preference, all my snakes, for holes cut in the lid, not in the end of their lay box. This one's already got a hole cut in the end, so I'm putting it quite close. In fact, the hole's facing the back wall of the enclosure, so it's quite a nice tight, feels a bit snugger in there for sure. Massively, they definitely prefer the hole in the top. No idea why. It must be a security thing. So I'll report back if anything occurs, but as always, keep an eye on the website. If you're in the UK, all my sort of breeding stuff is always on there as things progress through the seasons. So while colubrid snakes are my thing, I've got a lovely breeding pair, they're not for sale, of rainbow boas, Brazilian rainbow boas. They have the wow factor at schools, and I just love working with this beautiful species, Brazilian rainbow boas, taking them outside on a sunny day and seeing that iridescence. Absolutely mind-blowing. Lovely gentle boas, much more, I find, yeah, working with people as well, much more easygoing than boa constrictors for sure. Wow. You get the idea. I certainly find them a really nice, trustable, I've been bitten, but easygoing snake to work with for sure. So I'll show you some other non-colubrids, some other pythons and boas a bit later on. And here's the female of the pair that's available. Really, really blue indeed. Hey, really, really blue indeed. Absolutely beautiful. Soon be time to pair her with her male because the breeding season is upon us. My false water cobra, I used to breed up to 4 clutches a year of these beautiful animals. She's going to lay very soon, or certainly this spring. I love false water cobras. Fantastic pet snakes, absolutely brilliant. They can get to about 7 feet long for sure. She's just topping the 7-foot mark. But wow, lovely, intelligent, daytime active snakes with loads and loads of character, which will always come out to see you and be out on display. What a beautiful snake. If you've always wanted an indigo snake, but you can't afford one, but you wanted one for the personality and the way they behave, false water cobra is right up there for sure. If you are in the UK and your kiddies would like an easy to keep pet, let me know. Send me a message or something. Find out how to contact me on email. This is the time of year when my giant budwing stick insects are going through their round of hatching. This guy here, oh, I don't know, without his legs, he's probably 2.5 inches long. Hang on. Ooh. Now he looks bigger, but he's not. He's small. This guy here, got plenty of them. I'll post you a couple out for free if you're in the UK and it's a genuine, I'd love a stick insect for my kids. Easy to keep and they just feed on bramble and they're brilliant. Good fun, a great exotic pet starter. It's going to live about a year. So if you're a mum, bear that in mind, because after all, it's you that's going to be taking care of it. Dakota, the albino black rat snake, he's out of brumation and he's paired with his normal coloured female. We'll see what happens. First year they've been paired together. The smaller of the two Coyote locality dwarf reticulated pythons. Check out that video. And in here, the 50% super dwarf golden child albino. She's getting pretty big now, but nice and lean and mean and muscular still. A childhood pet, reticulated pythons when I was a teenager, and a rekindled love in the last year or two for sure. Incidentally, if you've often wondered how you could make big vivs like 8-foot vivs long, join 2 4-foot vivs together and cut either a small hole out or a big hole, so it's just one big viv. I like to do it so they've got a dark cool corner or dark cool end and a heated end, so they can come and go, sort of quite separate, like a little hidey hole almost, a more secure end to their viv. There's even a breeding pair of black-headed pythons on the website. A breeding pair in the UK. that produce albinos in their clutch. I've done all that work, growing them on for years, breeding them, proven pair, and now they're available for someone else to take on the baton, if you like. Here's the dad of those yellowtail Crebo possible eggs. 8 foot plus giant male yellowtail Crebo. He's got eye shine there, there's nothing wrong with his eyes, don't panic, there's flashes on. One of the most biggest, beautiful colubrid snakes, I think, in the whole of the UK. Check out my other videos. This guy is stunning. Actually really love this scaleless cord snake. She's only small, only a youngster, but yeah, just great for the school education. What a little beauty. This little young 4-line snakes on the website. Hardly anyone producing them in the UK. European 4-line snake, they grow huge, and again, just like Russian rat snakes, gentle giants. Chinese cave racer, Woodlice. Really beautiful snake. One of my own snakes to keep back and grow on, just because of the beautifulness. Whoa, it'll add to the colubrid collection for sure. The 3 young Amazon tree boas produced by the Jungle Room. Love these snakes, never kept them before. We've got this one, an orange one, and a Halloween phase. When they're bigger, they're going to make for some amazingly beautiful enclosures. This one, she's just been upgraded to an enclosure. I'm going to put her in, but I've still got to add more plants over the next few days. Gorgeous little creature. Here's something different, a tri-bred king snake. It's on the website if it's something you're interested in. Very unusual, it's a holdback actually. I no longer breed hybrids, but for sure I kept this one back just because it's amazing beauty. But it is available if you want something that no one else has. So here's my this year's, or rather last year's now, holdback Pueblan. This is a female to go with a young male. Like I say, the actual breeding pair are on the website. Really cutting back this year on stuff we produce, but trying to produce and work with stuff I haven't yet managed to breed. Absolutely beautiful snakes. Hissing cockroaches, firm favourite on the old school visits, that's for sure. Brilliant creatures. And of course, a colony of dubia roaches, because these little tarantulas do like to eat little insects. Classic Asian forest scorpion. This one's been with me for a long time now. I used to actually breed these and stupidly gave away all of the offspring. And this one, a long lasting line, the only one I've kept. She's a few years old now, but really integral to my rainforest talks because of the absolute wow factor under UV. This little tiny Metallica I've had from a tiny sling, just molted out now into their, these two, I've got 2 little ones, into their sort of big girl colours, I guess, coming along beautifully. My tarantulas are pretty blue themed. This is nice, Brazilian blue. Look at that. Green bottle blue, stunning. Lovely tarantulas, highly recommended. It is these Metallica that I really do love. I've got several, and it's just great seeing all their different personalities. One of the adult Balfouri. Look at that. I love these, they're lovely natured. I know they're new world, or rather old world, but Yeah, they're pretty gentle things. This green bottle blue's pre-molt, but look at that. And the classic curly hair. Easy going, easy peasy to keep. My school visit tarantula. Even some giant African land snails. Oh, pardon you. They're all asleep. It's got wind. But you get the idea. Can't really see him like that, but, or her. The big old golden orb weaver. Still doing okay. So that's an awful lot of reptiles and invertebrates here. It's not all of them, but I'll show you more as the summer continues, because there's some stuff in outdoor enclosures as well, all part of the channel. But for now, again, if you watch the channel, I told you not long ago that these 4 foots here, this stack here, 4x2x2s, they're all pretty old. They're getting a bit tired, I guess. And I want to change things around. We want less stuff, but bigger, more sort of scaped out enclosures, I guess. So although this one isn't, you know, all done out with a nice background or anything like that yet, it looks nice. It's easy on the eye. The animals look better in fully naturalistic enclosures. They just do, if you can facilitate that, for sure. Do they care? A lot of them? Absolutely not, I don't think. They're not humans in a scaly skin, no matter how much you love your pet. They're a world apart from us humans in many, many ways, but they certainly look better. And seeing more natural behaviour, or just observing their intelligence that they do have on some of these animals, is certainly, yeah, it's a big part of keeping them, more than just keeping them, if that makes sense. So here, this area here, we're looking at having a big enclosure, or 2, possibly renewing this one. And the funny thing is, this is really straight up, I was watching on YouTube different people making bespoke one-off large reptile enclosures. Honestly, that was yesterday morning before I went to work, and a friend of mine, Roy, said, Dave, we're just unpacking a load of new equipment at the hospital. They're going to chuck all the containers away, all the plywood carcass in, what's it called, guys? Crates, that'll do. Do you want the old wood for the falconry centre? I said, yeah, definitely, I'll come and get it. And then I realised when I got it all to the falconry centre, it all slots together, none of it's broken. It's actually basically 7 foot by 4 foot wide by over 3 foot deep plywood boxes that are tongue and grooved on their edges to fit together. Is really structurally sound with reinforced framing. I can't believe it. None of that's getting used on any aviaries, I can tell you. Basically, we've got the makings of 2 magnificently large enclosures, or 1 giant one, all for free. So watch this space. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Do the old thing, comment, like, subscribe, help the baby channel grow.